My name is Lafrenais. I am a singer-songwriter from Fort Kochi, a very small town in Cochin in Kerala, India. Again, come from a very Anglo-Indian, completely surrounded by music background as well. So yeah, that's where I am from.
Is it just a disguise? Sometimes you really can't tell.
So I think starting off my music career would be like a huge part of it would be because of my dad's brothers. All of them were in a band, and they used to play for a lot of weddings and functions. So I used to go and sit right in the front of the stage and watch them perform. So that was my initial inspiration. I started off a drummer, just like my father and my brother. Both of them were drummers. So I used to drum and sing for a band for quite a long time. And then eventually I picked up the guitar because my dad gave me a guitar when I was 13 as a birthday gift. And I picked it up, and back then there was no YouTube or anything to really watch and learn. I used to watch my uncles perform, and that's how I picked up the guitar as well. That's the first instrument I started writing on, I can say.
Smudge of red.
I think most of the kids in my generation back then picked it up from watching others play. So the drums, again, were watching my brother and my father play. The guitar, just because I had it, and again watching my uncles and all play, I knew I could learn the basics fast by watching them, but then to get a little better, of course, practice. 4 years ago I was with a band, Carl and the Rara Mafia, and we were funk jam, exploring a lot of different genres. But right now as a singer-songwriter, starting fresh, starting from scratch, I would have to say it's indie pop, or even to the extent to my album which will be coming out, it'll be rock and roll, old school 60s rock and roll. So it's a little bit of a mix of a genre. Right now, as I said, things are starting right from scratch. I'm forming a band around my music. Right now I'll be performing multiple venues across the city, but my original music, I'll start performing it only quite before my album starts releasing. So yes, Smudge of Red is out, but my album would be coming out towards the end of the year, and before that I'll start performing with a band. All of my original stuff with a band as well. Yeah, I think the tough parts, even if you're in a band or a solo musician, starting up, the initial few years or maybe a few months, you're thinking, okay, my song is not getting out there and people are not listening to it, or it's just a few views or just 200 views. But then think about it, if you're in a gig as a musician and there's 200 people in front of you, it's a big deal, right? So I think viewing those initial 200 or 100 views, not as a failure but as a win, that's very important. That's how you kind of battle that. But then eventually when you start getting a crowd in or start getting those views in, that's very rewarding. Going to festivals, performing for a crowd, some of them singing your songs back, now that's the most rewarding as a musician. So yeah, I think being a full-time musician here in the UAE is very much possible because of venues that actually have multiple amazing stages. You can go perform and use that as financial support for your original stuff as well. So I'm performing through the week, 6 nights a week in fact. Tuesdays at UBK, Fridays at UBK, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays with Negedigan. So yes, completely booked and very, very blessed to be a part of these venues to perform there as well. My gigs will be up on my Instagram page, you can check them out. And yeah, that's it. So I think musicians today really need their social media game up, and that's something I don't have. But I'm very much active on Instagram, and of course you can find my music on Spotify, iTunes, all the other platforms. The song is up, Smudge of Red is out on all platforms, but if you want to follow where I'm performing and about new music as well, visit my Instagram page, earth_2_Carl, CARL.
La 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 la.